Guys, this is Coach Tex Remberg, DFW Penguin Basketball, PENGUINHOOPS.com. Hey guys, if you get anything from this video, share this with anyone that you know that has a son or daughter that plays basketball, football, any youth sport, because it might be helpful to them, right? But the topic today is most summer basketball camps are a total waste. Now, I'm going to get into my reasons why, but first I want to let you guys know part of the reason I'm doing this video is because this is summertime, and also being a collegiate basketball player, I had to work camps for kids. Also, post-college, to make money, working camps was really good for me at the time, mainly because I like kids. I like helping kids, especially with the sport of basketball. And then two, it was a way for me to learn kids more and learn how these camps work. And guys, I probably worked over 100 basketball camps in my life, including my own. But this is the reason why I know these things, because I worked so many different camps in my life, basketball camps, and even football camps, and I know nothing about football. So, so I want to let you guys know and give you guys my opinion on why a lot, not all of them, but most basketball camps, or camps period, no matter what the sport is, lacrosse, soccer, baseball, football, a lot of these camps are a total waste of time and money. Number one, most of these counselors that work these basketball camps, they don't like children. They don't like kids. They don't get along with kids. They don't have a desire to help kids. They don't like being around kids. They don't like the energy that kids bring to them or around them. You know, not just camp counselors, but there are a lot of people that are teachers or working daycares and stuff, and they don't really like kids, right? They don't enjoy being around kids. They just think of it as a job. So you sending your kid to this basketball camp, and this teacher, this fourth grade teacher, is just working the camp to do something or have some extra money. They're not engaged in it. They don't have a natural desire to teach your son how to get better at basketball within this week span or this window of a week, where you spend a lot of time and money and effort, and just, you know, if you go to basketball camps, a lot of times the kids stay with that same counselor the whole time on one court. So you have 1 or 2 or 3 counselors on one court. And a lot of the times, you know, if your kid gets the bad luck of the draw and they get with a counselor that doesn't even really like the sport and really doesn't like kids, he or she is on that court with their counselor the whole week, and you're getting absolutely nothing out of it. Right? So that's number one. A lot of these counselors at camps do not like children. Number two, which I've seen a lot working camps, a lot of these counselors in basketball camps, they don't know anything about basketball. And I'm not going to even get into it, how bad it gets. But I remember I was working in basketball camps for a certain building, and a football counselor was out for the football camp. I'm like, hey, we're doing football camp next week. I'm like, hey man, that's awesome. They're like, hey, the counselor's sick, Tex, and you, excuse me, you're a pretty big guy, and you look like you play football. You want to work the football camp? I was like, I don't know anything about football. Oh, well, don't worry about it. The head counselor of the camp, he knows everything about football. He'll just tell you what to do. He's like, you can throw a football, right? I'm like, yeah. But he was just like, don't worry about it. We got everything lined up. We got the schedule for it. All you got to do is just execute the schedule. So I'm just like, I don't know, man. He was like, well, this is probably like 15 years ago. He was like, well, it pays $600 for the week. I was like, oh, I'm in. So, guys, at least with me, I'm honest when I don't know anything about a sport. A lot of these guys, even some of these club coaches and AAU coaches, they don't really know anything about basketball, and they're coaching your son. But just imagine you paying your money and sending your kid to a basketball camp all week and he's on the floor or he's on the court with a counselor that knows absolutely nothing about basketball. And if your kid plays for me, they're gonna know and understand basketball more than most adults and some of these youth coaches. So that's number 2 reason. A lot of these coaches don't know anything about the sport or the camp you're sending them to. Number 3, the drills are just crappy. I've worked a lot of camps, and most of these drills that these guys are doing are either fun stuff like knockout or just like goofy drills. Now, it makes sense when you're doing fun stuff for kids and they're like 7 years young and younger, right? Because most of it is busy work. You might get 1 or 2 of those kids that are really, really skilled. But if they're really skilled in that age group, you'll just move them up to an older group so they can get more out of it. But a lot of these camps, they have a bunch of drills and stuff that have nothing to do with actually executing and get better at basketball. It's just something to do, like dribble tag and just dribbling from baseline all the way to the other baseline fast. It's like, what are we doing there? Get the cones out. Get some chairs out, do something. Work on form shooting. We're not doing any of that. We're not working on harder ways. We're not working on between the legs, behind the back combination. We're not working on step backs. A lot of this stuff is just, okay, this sounds fun. If your parent walks in and they see us doing it, it's gonna look like we're doing something, but really it's basically glorified gym class. Number 4, most of the kids that are in this camp, they don't even care about basketball. A lot of these parents send their kids to sports camps for daycare. So your kid is in there with a kid that can't catch. The kid shows up wearing Crocs. The girl shows up in a dress to basketball camp. These types of kids, some of these kids, they're just totally there because that's the only camp that's available at the gym or facility that they always send their kids to camp to. And the kid may not want to go to daycare, right? Or go to their aunt's house or something for the week. So you stick them off in this sports camp, basketball, football, and they don't even care about sports. They're just there. Guys, number 5. Is this number 5? Number 5. The main thing that sucks about these camps now is the counselors don't push you to get better during the camp anymore. When I was a kid, I went to a couple of basketball camps. The counselors were pushing me to get better. Not to the point where it was overly pushy, but they were pushing me. If they saw that you were a kid that wanted to get better, they would push you and teach you. Now, it's all about customer service. And it makes sense because with basketball camps, especially if you have 1 or 2 camps a day per week, and you're a facility, you can make a lot of money from doing it. And you don't want to lose a lot of customers that come every single week to camps. So now, instead of us, as counselors pushing the kid to be better or pushing the kid to do a little bit more, kids going home crying, oh, they're making me work too hard. Now the counselors are just there, and if you don't want to do it, hey, go ahead and take a break, buddy. Right? The only type of discipline that goes on in camps is disciplinary, like when a kid is trying to fight or bully other kids and stuff like that. Then you get them off the court then. But other than that, if a kid's not hustling hard or playing hard in scrimmaging or drills, they're not getting pushed to go harder anymore. Which, if your kid is in a camp to get better, they're not going to be pushed like they used to. And the last thing, guys, a real big point I want to make, number 6, the amount of money that you guys spend on basketball camps, football camps, all that stuff, especially when you know the stuff that I just told you now, and your kid comes back from the first camp and like, Mom, you ask them like, hey, son, how was camp? Did you learn anything? And they're like, nah, Mom, it's like going to gym class. You might as well put that money into some training, some skills training, some weightlifting training, some agility training. There are camps that are for that and for agility training, stuff that you get a lot more out of. And also, whoever trains your son, put the money towards that. Even if it's only 4 or 5 hours of working out, right? Your son can go and do that lesson and have something that he can go and do on his own that he learned from that skill session, if that makes sense, that he can do over and over and over repeatedly that's going to actually get them something out of it, all right? But hey guys, those are my 6 reasons. Guys, get your kids out of these crappy camps. Stop wasting your money on it. Spend your money on a trainer. Maybe even playing a couple of extra tournaments or something, or going to a couple of extra workouts or skills of agility, weightlifting and all that stuff, weight training. And that'll be a whole lot more lucrative and a whole lot more meaningful to your son. I'm Tex Winberg, DFW Penguin Basketball, penguinhoops.com, and I'll see you guys later.